Joann Fabrics announced they are permanently going out of business. And this means that a lot of people who bought fabric from them in the US have no place to buy fabric locally. And depending where you live, you may or may not have some of the options I'm going to go over, but I do have some options for buying fabric online and locally, and just ideas about where you can look to try to find fabric either in bulk or just piecing, smaller pieces if you need things for quilts and that kind of stuff. Coincidentally, and maybe I did this because I knew the Joann thing was going on, but I have written an article just this past week about where to buy fabric online, and I'm going to share that with you because I think that this is a good source. These are members of the Artisan Shopping Directory. If you are a seller who sells handmade, fabric, crafts, supplies, vintage, whatever, kind of Etsy handmade without the AI, then you can advertise in this website. So go look on the website because there is something in there where you can get into the directory just so people can find you. And that's basically what this channel is about, is, buying from people who actually make their own stuff and source their own fabrics to sell to other crafters. Anyway, I had written this article, so we're going to go through this and see, some of the ideas in it. You can go read the article if you want. I'll put the link in the description. The first thing, this is my Spoonflower shop. Spoonflower is a good place to get fabric. The problem is that you have to wait for it. This is a good source. I tend to do things for dollhouses, like the smaller scale stuff, so anything I can scale down. But I also have a lot of quilting fabric because I'm a quilter. So this is one place to go. You can just go to Spoonflower in general and get a lot of interesting designs by independent designers. They have wallpaper, they have fabric. You do have to order it and then wait for it to come to you, but it doesn't take that long. I was always surprised when I ordered stuff from Spoonflower. The quality is good, but you do have to wait for it. Not as long as you think, but you can't just go and get it. This is Anne's shop. She's also an Artisan Shopping Directory member. And I will, like I said, I'll put all the links to these shops in the descriptions, but she has started adding some designs to her shop. So there are a lot of people in the Artisan Shopping Directory who do sell on Spoonflower. And if you sell patterns, then this is a good option for you too. This is Hoppity Handmade. This is Martina's shop, and she has a business where she makes children's clothing. So a lot of her designs have cute little animals and stuff in them. This is also her website. This is Hoppity Handmade is her website, and she does sell fabric on here also. This is Jersey, which is probably the fabric that she uses the most in making her children's clothing, but this is a good place to buy fabric online. The reason that I'm showing you directory member shops is that I know that they sew, I know that they're vetted, I know that it's a curated experience. I hate that phrase, but I know that these people are not going to rip you off. I have bought fabric online from Amazon and gotten not what I ordered, and I ended up throwing it out because it was, like it said, it was microfiber, but it was something like taffeta. It made no sense. But when you buy from an independent seller, they usually sew themselves. And like I said, Martina has a business where she makes children's clothing, and so she's going to be able to answer questions for you. She's not going to sell you some crappy product quality. And I know part of the thing about buying fabric is that you want to touch it. You want to know the weight. You want to be able to see if it's transparent. You want to be able to feel it. You can't do that online, so that's one of the downsides of this. But, as our options decrease, the next best thing is to be able to ask someone who actually uses the fabric and sews for themselves or for their business, because they're not going to sell you some junk. And like I said, all of these people are in the Artisan Shopping Directory. They're members. They've been vetted, and they're not going to rip you off. And they can answer questions. You can write to her and say, how heavy is this fabric or whatever. Okay, this is Marlon Smith's Spoonflower shop. And again, these are all designs that you're not going to find in stores anyway because they're independent designers. Okay, so I'll put all the links to those in the description. You can get fabric on Zazzle. I don't think I included Zazzle in this little video. It is in the article. You can get fabric on Zazzle. I have never ordered fabric from Zazzle. It looks like they outsource it to a third-party printer. So I'm assuming that the quality is fine. If you have the option of buying a swatch from any of these printers, Spoonflower or Zazzle, I would do that first. And Spoonflower does allow you to buy swatches. You can check the quality, see if you like it, and then buy more. So there's that benefit to it because it is print on demand. The designs aren't going to go away. You're not going to run out. You're not going to be the last person on the bolt. They're going to keep printing it for you. Okay, now let's go look at some independent shops. This is Jackie's shop. This is Destashable Me. She destashes. I'm not sure if it's destashable fabric or if it's just like fabric because we all have a stash, right? But I will put the link to her shop in the description of the video. This is a good place to find cotton fabric. More Love Mama. Now, this is interesting. This is Carrie's shop, and she started this shop when she was adopting children from Africa, and she saw the fabrics over there. She really liked it. So she started sourcing international fabrics, and you can get all kinds of things from her that you can't find at any local store because it's like sourced locally from different countries. So if you're looking for specialty fabrics and really interesting patterns, this is a good place to go. Cat and Lou is Carrie's daughter's shop. So her daughter said to her, I would like to choose my own fabric. And she said, we can set that up. So her daughters are the ones that choose the patterns for this shop. And these are like playful patterns that girls would like. So because they've chosen them. So anyway, again, all the links are going to be in the description of the video. This is Cat and Lou. All right, this is Thready Made. This shop has been in one of my previous videos. And it has, she does the smocking kits where you can make, let me close this out, where you can make your own dresses and shirts with their kits, but she also has fabric. So you can go buy interesting fabric. I think she has some dead stock fabric that is hard to find. It's overruns from designers. She's in New York City, so she has connections to the design world there. So this is a good site to go to. Again, link in the description. All right, this is Amy's shop, Country Charm USA, and she sells, let's see, is it all quilting fabrics? Let's see, country fabrics for quilt making and sewing. So probably mostly cottons, but you can go and see what she's got in stock. I like to go, if you're going to buy fabric online, it's a good thing to kind of check these shops out periodically because they get new stock in and they rotate their inventory. So it's good to kind of check back a lot. Okay, Quilting and Beyond, fat quarter bundles, patterns. She's got quilting fabric. She's got a lot of stuff here. Ooh, I like that. I need to stop looking at these shops because, like I said, I am a kind of a fabric hoarder. I think of it as not being a hoarder, but being a selective collector. Okay, but this is Kelly's shop, and you can go to buy fabrics there. Let's see. This is Lisa's Cotton Corner. This is cotton fabrics. Again, a lot of these are aimed at people who are doing quilting and craft sewing. You can obviously use cotton for clothing. And I was kind of surprised, and I think Kelly had said this in one of her posts that people, I really either you're a quilter or you do clothing, and there's no overlap. And I do both. But I didn't realize that that was a thing until I took a class at my local quilt shop, which I'll show you in a minute. And it really, the people there had never put a zipper in. And I was like, okay, but it's a different skill set. But the fabrics can be used for both. You can use these cotton fabrics for shirts and that kind of thing. That's what shirts are made of. So anyway, this is a good shop to go to get some interesting fabrics, and I'm seeing some patterns that I like, and so I need to move on. Okay, next we have Blissfully Warm Fabric. I'm thinking that they're mostly cottons. I think that there probably are some flannels with the Blissfully Warm. Okay, right here, duh, flannel. Okay, she's got yardage. So you can, jelly rolls, layer cakes, charm packs. If you're not a quilter, you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Fat quarter bundles, 1 yard bundles. So she's got all kinds of things on here. The benefit, like I said, of ordering from an independent seller is that you can contact them and ask them questions about the fabric. Is it heavy? If it's a flannel, what kind of a flannel is it? Is it like a super light flannel that I would get at Walmart? Don't do that. And she'll write back and say, no, I don't sell garbage. Okay, so she's going to send you a good heavy flannel. All right, next we have Julie's Destash. She does quilting, destash fabrics, and craft supplies. So if you're looking for supplies, then she might have some of that. This is a destash shop, so it kind of comes and goes. And again, this is a good reason why you need to come and check back in. Just come and check back in. This is Pat's shop, textiles and things. She has craft supplies, fabric, buttons, and lace. So this is the kind of thing, like I said, that she's going to get stuff in and it's going to go out, and then she's going to get more in and it's going to go out. So come back and check back. And I know that people with Joann closing, people are concerned about buttons and things like that, but you can get those online. And I'll show you another, let's move into, because it looks like I'm moving into another section of this. But yeah, check these shops out, links in the description. And then locally, let's talk about locally because a lot of times you need something quickly. This is the shop that I bought my Bernina sewing machine at. And I walked in there to look at machines and it was full of fabric. And I genuinely had not even thought about looking at independent quilt stores to get fabric. And I walked in, I was like, oh, because like I said, I'm a fabric hoarder. Okay. I was going to use a different word, but that's okay. So I realized I did not know this about them, that number one, they have fabric, but you can also buy it online. So if you're looking for good quilting fabric, check out all those shops I just showed you, but you can also find local shops in your area if you do want to go and actually touch the fabric and feel how heavy it is. But if you're looking for good quilting fabric, probably from major manufacturers, designers, this specific website I can vouch for. I can't vouch for any other website, but I have been in this shop physically and I have touched the fabric and I have seen the quality and they have good quality for everything. So this is bobbinandbolt.com. I will put the link in the description, but they sell machines, they sell fabric, they sell panels, they have the long arm quilting services, they've got the whole thing. Okay, so look in your area to see if there are quilt shops that have fabric because you might not have thought about that, but it might be a good source. If you used to just running to Joann and getting something, this might be a better source because they'll have better quality. All right. This is something that's in my area specifically, but I know that these types of stores exist around the country and probably in other countries. I'm in the US, but this is a creative reuse center. And what they do is they take donations of craft supplies and then they resell them. So if you have too many bobbins of thread, you can take those in and you can sell your spools to someone else. But I mean, you're donating them and then they're selling them. And what they're doing is that they're donating to basically run education programs. It's a nonprofit. So it's a I can't even walk in this place. This place is so deadly because everything is so inexpensive and they get some really good stuff. So look in your area to see if there is something like this. You can also check thrift shops. A lot of times people will donate fabric to thrift shops. That's very hit or miss. And this kind of thing is very hit or miss because you never know what's going to be donated. It's usually smaller amounts, so you're not going to get the yardage. But if you're doing a quilt and you're doing something that you don't need big pieces, then this could be a really good option and it's inexpensive. So check reuse centers like this, resale shops, thrift shops, garage sales. Somebody suggested estate sales, quilters estate sales. If you ever see one of those, just run. Be the person in the tent waiting outside, sleeping there overnight to get into that quilters estate sale because they're going to have some stuff. Totally worth it. But it is hit or miss. So if you're looking for yardage, go directly to an established shop. If you're looking for bargains and kind of, stuff like fun things to find, then things like this could work. You can also go to YouTube. I went to YouTube and searched for fabric destash sale. Someone in my live that I was doing yesterday, we were talking about this and they said, oh yeah, this is a thing on YouTube. I didn't know this, but apparently if you just search for fabric destash sale, all these videos come up and people do live sales. Some of these were live where people were selling, look, live quilt and fabric destash sale. They'll be live on YouTube selling stuff. And the same thing on Facebook. You can go on Facebook and find this because I went on Facebook and searched for fabric destash and all of these groups came up. So this is definitely a place if you are a fabric user, like constantly, you're always buying fabric, definitely put this in. And apparently you can search for groups near you. So that might be a good place to do, local pickups and that kind of stuff. I apparently would be careful. Look, Fabric Hoarders Unite. Yeah. I would be careful because there's this one that says beware fabric destashing for people who aren't cray, beware. So maybe there are a lot of crazy people in fabric destash groups. What I would do is look to see, like this says this has 7 posts a year. That's not a really active group. Go up to the top because they're going to show you the more active groups at the top. 10 posts a day, more than 10 posts a day, 3 posts a day, 10 posts a day. So choose the ones that have the most posts per day, join them, And then look at the post to see if it's scammers or just people spamming the group, or if it's actually a legitimate group where people are selling things, because you can get a lot of fabric, but you don't want to be taken advantage of. And there are a lot of these types of groups that exist just to scam people. And they are there to take your information and to get your mailing address and to take your credit cards. But you want to find a group where it's active and people are actually like happy with the stuff that they bought. And you can always ask in the group, does anyone have experience buying from this person? How did it go? And they'll tell you. So it's definitely worth a look for that. And I hope that this video was helpful. If you have any other ideas, please post them in the comments. And if you're interested in advertising and being a part of the Artisan Shopping Directory, I'll put the link to buy an ad there. And you can actually be in the directory now and be included in my gift guides, like that website or the article that I showed you right at the beginning. I can do that too. I screen people in though. I don't let everybody in. So if you're an AI user and all you're doing is printing AI designs on your fabric, I'm not too excited about that. But if you sell fabric or you are a designer who does, Spoonflower or other print on demand services, let me know, because I'm interested in kind of getting people on board. All right, I will talk to you later. Give this video a thumbs up and post any questions. Check the links in the description because everything I talked about is going to be in there. Talk to you later.